Okay, let's talk about something really, really important today. It's a skill that can literally mean the difference between life and death. CPR, Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation. Now, that sounds complicated, I know, but it's actually way simpler than you might think, and we're gonna walk through it right now.
So, picture this. You're out somewhere and someone right in front of you just collapses. Your heart starts pounding, right? It's a scary moment for sure, but what you do in those first few seconds could change everything. So what is the first step?
And here's the best part. You do not need to be a doctor or a paramedic to be a hero in that moment. We're about to go through a handful of simple, clear steps that are proven to save lives. You absolutely can do this.
So how do you remember what to do when things get intense? Well, there's a trick for that. It's a super simple memory aid called DRSABC. Think of it as your action plan, your mental checklist that's going to guide you through the whole thing nice and calm.
Here it is, the whole roadmap at a glance. We've got danger, response, shout, then airway, breathing, circulation, and we'll even add an extra D for defibrillation. Looks like a lot, but don't worry, we're going to break down every single one of these.
All right, let's dive into the first phase, assessing the scene. Before you even think about touching the person, there are 3 absolutely crucial things you need to do. This is the DRS part of our plan.
And the very first letter, D, stands for danger. And this is non-negotiable. You can't help anyone if you get hurt too. So your safety and the safety of people around you is priority number 1. It's the golden rule of any emergency.
So what does that actually mean? It means just take a second, a deep breath, and look around. Are you in the middle of a busy road? Is there a fire? Spilled chemicals? Anything that could be a hazard? You've got to make sure the scene is safe before you even get close. Okay, so you've checked, and the area is safe. Now you can approach the person. The next step, R, is for response. We just need to find out, very simply, if they're conscious or not.
And this is really straightforward. You're going to kneel down next to them, give them a gentle but firm shake by the shoulders, and at the same time ask loudly and clearly, right by their ear, "Are you all right? Can you hear me?" You're checking for any sign of a response at all. Okay, so you've shaken them, you've asked if they're all right, and nothing. No movement, no sound. This is the moment to get loud. S is for shout for help. Don't be shy here. Getting help on the way is absolutely critical. Just yell, "Help! Someone call an ambulance." If there are people around, point directly at someone and say, "You, call for an ambulance," and tell them someone is unresponsive. Being specific helps cut through the confusion. Ask them to put the phone on speaker too, so the operator can talk you through it.
All right, the scene is safe, help is on the way. Now we get to the core of it all, the part you probably think of when you hear CPR. We're moving on to the ABCs, the real, hands-on life support actions.
First up, A is for airway. This is so important. When someone is unconscious, their tongue can actually relax and fall back, blocking their throat. So even if they wanted to breathe, they couldn't. Our first job is to make sure that path is clear. And the way you do this is surprisingly simple. You just place one hand on their forehead and 2 fingers from your other hand under their chin. Then you gently tilt their head back. That simple movement is enough to lift the tongue away from the back of the throat and open up the airway.
Okay, the airway is now open. Next up in our checklist is B for breathing. We have to check if the person is breathing normally or if they're breathing at all.
And you're going to use 3 senses for this. We call it look, listen, and feel. Put your cheek close to their mouth and look down their body. You're looking for the chest to rise and fall. You're listening for breath sounds, and you're feeling for their breath on your cheek. Do this for no more than 10 seconds. And a quick note, weird, infrequent gasps or gurgling sounds are not normal breathing. If you see that, or nothing at all, it's time to act.
So, if they are not breathing normally, we have to assume their heart has stopped beating. We immediately move on to C, circulation. And this is where we basically become their heart. We need to manually pump blood around their body with chest compressions.
Let's get the technique right, because this is crucial. You're going to find the center of their chest right on the breastbone. Place the heel of one hand there. Then put your other hand on top and interlock your fingers. Now lock your elbows so your arms are straight and position your shoulders directly over your hands. This way, using your body weight, not just your arms.
Now how fast do you go? You're going to push hard and you're going to push fast. The target is about 2 compressions every single second.
A lot of people use the beat of the song Staying Alive. And yeah, it's a little on the nose, but it works perfectly to keep the right rhythm.
And how hard should you be pushing? Well, we're aiming for a depth of about 5 centimeters, or 2 inches. And look, that's going to feel like a lot. You might be worried about hurting them, but you have to remember, their life is on the line. You have to push that hard for the compressions to actually work.
Now, the big question, what about the rescue breaths you see in movies? Well, here's the deal. If you've been professionally trained, the pattern is 30 compressions, then 2 breaths. But, and this is a big but, if you are not trained or you're just not comfortable doing it, don't worry about it. Just keep doing continuous chest compressions. Hands-only CPR is incredibly effective. The most important thing is to just not stop.
Okay, we have our AVCs down cold, but there's one more tool we can bring into the mix, and it is a total game changer. Let's talk about that final D for defibrillation and the amazing device that does it, the AED. An AED is short for Automatic External Defibrillator. It's a small portable box that you see in airports, gyms, and offices. Its whole job is to analyze a person's heart rhythm and, if it detects a specific kind of problem, deliver a controlled electrical shock to try and reset it.
And here's what I really want you to hear. You cannot mess this up. These things are designed to be foolproof. The second you open it up or turn it on, a calm voice starts talking to you, telling you exactly what to do step by step. It analyzes the heart all by itself, and it will only deliver a shock if one is actually needed. You literally can't go wrong.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a lot. But you see how it all boils down to that simple action plan? Let's just do a quick final recap to make sure this new, life-saving knowledge is locked in. Let's run through it one last time. First, you check for danger. Then R for a response. S, shout for help. Then A, open the airway. B, check for breathing. C, begin circulation with chest compressions. And finally, D, use a defibrillator if you can get one. DRSABCD. That is your key to saving a life.
So there you have it. You now know the fundamental steps. You have the tools, you have the technique, you know that doing something is always, always better than doing nothing. The only question left is, if that moment ever comes, are you ready to act? I think you are.